Welcome to the final video in the Hold'em Manager Sidebar Windows video series. Here we're going to talk about the tournament sidebar windows, which include results, reports, preflop cards, and hands. This is the tournament results window, and it's broken down into filters in the top left up here, filtered data, which is overall statistics on how well you're doing, and then over here we have different tabs at the top that when we click these tabs it brings up more information as well. So the first thing I want to talk about are these filters because they're used in all the tabs, and you can filter by date up at the top here, you can filter by the dollar amount of your buy-in, number of players in a tournament, speed, turbo, super turbo, stuff like that, game type, and also whether you're single tabling, two tabling, or multi-tabling a tournament here. And then this window down here at the bottom shows overall statistics on how well you're doing based on these filters. And one thing that's kind of cool here is that you can show EV adjusted values too, and then they will pop up in red. Now, one thing you'll notice is down here at the finish distribution, 1 and 2 is the highest percentage, and that would be great if I was playing 9 tables all the time, but this filter I have it set to 2 to 40,000. So for this demonstration, I'm going to change this to 9 players and 9 players, and you can see down here this finish distribution changes a bit. It's still weighted up near the top here, which is good. But, again, you can see the change here. The next part I want to talk about are these tabs up here. Right now I'm on the Stats tab, and it's filtered by stakes. So you can see the number of tournaments that I've played broken down by stakes. You can also change this to multi-tabling, and this will show how well you've done based on how many tables you have open, which is kind of cool. So with me, you can see I've played the most tournaments when I've been 4-tabling, and I think it's because I've been playing lots of matrices. But as you can see, as I get up to, like 6, 7, and 8, my win rate tapers off quite a bit. So, we probably know that 4 tables is the most that I should be playing. We can filter by daily here, and then it's going to break everything down by date and also month. And you can see everything's broken down by month here. The next thing we're going to talk about is the Data View tab here. This lists all the tournaments in your database, and if you click on the tournaments, you can see that the hand view window updates down here at the bottom. And you can sort by completed and incomplete. Sometimes when you're playing multi-table tournaments on some obscure sites, the finished positions and stuff don't get written because we don't have that information. So that's why you would have an incomplete tournament. You can actually go in and edit a tournament, any tournament that you want, to make sure that you have the proper data. Next thing is graphs here, and you can see that we have the EV line here is in red, and I'm actually running above EV in 9 table tournaments here, so that's definitely good news. And you can change this by day, and you can graph by buy-ins, stuff like that, rate back bonuses, and then you can also uncheck the show luck adjusted winnings there. And the last thing we're going to talk about is trending here, and this is basically the graph over here on the left, but it's broken down into a different visual cue. You can see the dark blue lines are still at the top, which is 1, 2, and 3, which is good news for me. All right, so this is the 4 tabs here inside of the tourney results window. This is the tournament reports view. It's the same thing as the cash game report, so you can analyze your tournament play similar to the way that you would analyze it for cash games. You can see this report is the big blinds, Everything's broken down by big blinds. You can see this is a 12,000 chip big blind, so that was obviously a big multi-table tournament. And one thing that I like doing with a lot of this stuff is checking out some EV chip values as well. So I'm going to add EV here, and to do that I'm going to click this plus sign right over here. And then EV, all in EV adjusted is right there. I'm going to select it, click save, and I'm going to move this up to my dollar amount up here. Refresh this, and now you can see, like, here's a great example of when the big blinds were 4,000, I won 105,000 chips, but I should have lost 37,000 chips. So obviously on some hands here, I got extremely lucky to win. And you know, you can sort by that down here at the bottom. One other thing I like doing is looking at EV based on today's games that I've played. So I'm going to go up here and filter by date, and there's a specific date, the 8th, I believe, that I played some tournaments here. I'm going to save this out, and you can see I have 248 hands here, and this was a matrix, and I didn't finish first in any of them, so I lost 6,000 chips, 4 buy-ins of 1,500 chips. But you can see in my EV adjusted, I should have actually won over 1,000 chips here. So, you know, I can tell myself that I played well, I just got unlucky. And, you know, you can use that as well with your analysis when you're actually playing tournaments. A couple of the other reports I like looking at are the whole cards report here. You can sort by your biggest losses here and make sure that you're not playing hands that you shouldn't be playing in the wrong spots. So I've lost the most with King 10 off suit here, and a good idea would just be to highlight that hand and then sort by your big losers here. And, you know, check out these hands in the actual tournament situation to make sure that, you know, you were making the right play. And again, remember, you can add EV to this too, and you should, because, you know, we might be losing 174,000 chips here, but EV might tell us that we should be making money here. And if that's the case, you definitely know that that is not a leak. And finally, one of the other reports I like looking at when I'm playing tournaments is position. And you can just make sure that you're playing positionally aware here, and that you're not bleeding money in any one spot. You know, here, just looking at mine, this is actually the first time I've looked at it because I don't analyze my tournament play all that much. But just looking at this, the cutoff here, I'm only making 12 BBs, which is kind of sad. So let's actually add that EV here just to double check. I'm hoping that it's going to say I should be making a lot more. And of course it's not. So again, this is would definitely be an area where I'd want to analyze my game a bit deeper, using some more of the more advanced filtering techniques up here. The last two things we're going to talk about are the pre-flop cards and the hands real quick. This is just like the cash games. You have quick filters over here on the left, so you can filter this heat map in the center by clicking these radio buttons over here, you know, for all cards, cold call, over limp, 3-bet, etc. Now when you click hand in this heat map here, it brings all the hands down here, so you can sort by your losers here to make sure that you're not, just to make sure that you're playing the hand properly. And there's some quick filters here as well. Filter by the BBs and also filter by number of players here as well. And then the last thing here is the hands view. And again, this is just an expanded view of the hands view that's spread throughout Hold'em Manager. You know, it's down here in the data view, and it's also in all of the reports. So I hope you enjoyed the last video here, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos.